Nope, sorry about that. Camera just stopped. Stopped. Anyway, I was talking about the land of the giants, okay? That they had to conquer to get to the promised land. Okay, they had to go through that, right? They had to go through that land. Because they had a battle, but they had to get to that land. But they're like, we're not going. That's really bad over there. We can't do that. Okay, we gotta go through there to get to the promised land. You got to go. Same thing. Okay, we're following this course, so we got to go through there. That's that darkness. Okay, that's that. That's what that is. That's the land of the giants. Okay, so it's your land of your darkness, but it's past that. You have to go through that to get to the promised land. Same thing. Same thing. Up there. Because, all right. Remember how before, this has been just levels and levels. And you know, when we started, we were here, right? I mean, but he has just given us all these levels, all right? Okay, we're going to follow everything. Jesus died on the cross. And he went down to release, okay, to release those that were in the bosom of Abraham, right? So, to Sheol, okay, but he was releasing the prisoners, okay, right, all right. Well, he was carrying them to paradise, okay. It's the same pattern, all right, but he stayed after that, right, and taught the disciples, okay? He taught the disciples for 40 days, okay? Again, time is going to be accelerated now. It's going to be accelerated, but we are going to be taught, and that 40 days going out is the time in the wilderness, okay? It's, okay, what the time in the wilderness is after he was baptized. There we go. Let's go back this way. It's easier, okay? When Jesus was baptized on the River Jordan, okay? And after he was baptized, remember the river turned around and started going the other way? Because, see, it was bringing the blessings down, but now it was going back. John the Baptist, okay, it's both sides here. You got to know, okay, it's both sides, okay? John had to, John did his part, but John's going to be on the left here, okay? But now he had to relinquish what he had, okay? Because he had the Spirit of the Lord on him, right? Okay, but now he had to relinquish, and he had to baptize Jesus, okay? And that's why he had to decrease while he increased. It was a switch there, okay? It was a switch. It was going from earthly to heavenly, okay? It's just all these layers around this stuff. It just, you can see it one way and that's the right, but you have to see it all these other layers too. If you're not, what good is it, really? So, he was born with one spirit, but he was baptized with another one, okay? He was baptized with another one. So what he had to do was, he had to go into the desert for 40 days and 40 nights and be tempted by Satan, right? And that's what he had to do. And he had to listen. Okay, it's the same thing. When we get up there, okay, and after those who are given the 12 fruits of the tree, okay? Don't let me forget to tell you about that one too. Okay, then it's during the wilderness. It's the wilderness training. It's being taught, okay, how to go and do the harvest, how to go out as the disciples did and harvest them souls, okay? But just as he had to go and be tempted because he had to hear the voice within, okay? He had to listen. He was baptized now with the Holy of Holy Spirits, okay? That's what he was baptized with, right? Now he had the Spirit of the Father. Spirit, now the Christ Spirit was in him, all right? So, this is how he overcame everything, okay? Because he was baptized with that Spirit. He was born with the Spirit of man, okay? And so now he was baptized with the Spirit of God, okay? So, in his human form, when he went out that's why he was, but he was offered, oh my gosh, he was offered the kingdoms, bread, okay, and then to tempt the Lord, throw yourself down, he'll save you. All right, it's the same things that through those 40 days that those that go out to harvest will be tempted with. Okay, so remember this. Remember I told you paradise is paradise, but paradise is also, you got to move on from there, and people are going to they're going to fall asleep again. They're going to get lax, and they're not going to see it. Okay, this is how he says that some of his elect fall, will be tricked too. It's during this 40 days. Just as Jesus was offered those things from Satan, also his elect will be offered those too. Okay? So, you got to have eyes to see who is leading you and who's the voice. Okay? Who is the voice? You have you got two spirits there. Okay? Two spirits there. You have to know which one you're hearing. That's why it's so important to understand who God is, okay, and who the Father is, okay, and who Jesus is, and who Christ Jesus is, and who Jesus Christ is, okay, because there's that's the way it is. It's just the way it is. So if you don't know who's offering you those kingdoms that you're going to take, it's going to be very hard to discern those. Very hard. There's no, okay, you have to listen to the one that's calling in the desert, okay? But you have to know that voice, whose voice that is. Okay, is it John the Baptist or is it Jesus? Because, okay, which one is it? John's on the left. Remember I said that? So know whose voice you're going to be hearing, okay? Because they're going to be different. And you got to know which one. One is earthly and one is heavenly, okay? One is earthly and one is heavenly. It's just... In paradise, okay? In paradise. When you receive your rewards, your mansions, all the rewards, okay? Remember, they are still made of matter. They're still a materialistic. You are being rewarded. We are being rewarded for our time on earth, okay? So they are earthly rewards, all right? I mean, given from God on the throne, right? Yeah. And he's happy to do it, and it's his promise to do it, yes. I mean, and it's yay, yes, yay, am I going to have that in heaven? I'm going to have that, I'm going to have that. Okay, now, but who sees the face of God? Those who have a pure heart. So if you have a pure heart, then your heart is looking for heavenly things, not material things, okay? You offer them back to the Lord, okay? You offer those. You offer him your heart. So when you receive these, okay, you receive them, but you can't hang to them, okay? Because it's Babylon, all right? It's Babylon. Remember what I said? It's just it's going to keep you there because of these things that you have there. It's just another step, okay? Paradise is another step, all right? So, and who was tricked in paradise? Okay? Adam and Eve. Okay? So, it's another step. And so here you've got these wonderful rewards. But remember, he's really going to see who's going the distance on this, okay? You want the heart of God. The pure of heart sees the face of God. Those who see the face of God and live in the garden, you're living in his heart. I mean, that's when you become one. That's when you're totally, completely changed, okay, and become the bride of Christ. That is where the rapture happens, because as this harvest up there is happening, okay, and all this is playing out, it's when the people become awake. It's when they come out of their sleep, okay, and they have eyes to see, and they can see what's going on, okay. It's that heart. So you have to, again, it's what is being offered out in the desert, okay? I got all this yummy stuff for you. Look, and see, this is when the fast really comes in, that 40-day fast, okay, of what you're going to eat and what you're going to drink, because you're out there and you're relying, you got the Spirit in you, right? And so that should be your food. That is what he said, when man doesn't live off bread alone, because now you're one with him. But you got to know that, and you got to go in there for that, and you got to rely on that. Lord, you got to feed me. I'm hungry, But it's through the word. It's two different things, and so you got to be aware of what's going to be happening and what's going to go on up there, okay? Because it's up there. It's one level. Because we are not on the roof, okay? We are not on the roof yet, right? We're not there. And of course, it's through the whole entire Bible. We are in the cave, in the cave, in the cave, in the cave, in the cave. So he's got to release us, okay, and lead us up. But it's up there you get your rewards, because they're earthly. There's our God on our throne, who is, yes, our creator, and he is the God of this world, okay, and he is the one who judges, and he also gives the rewards, okay, and he gives the rewards, okay, for the earthly, all right. But up there, it's a realm of heaven. It's a heavenly realm, right? But it's there that we get our rewards and our gifts far there, up there. You know what I'm saying? It's, and they're not earthly, okay? They are heavenly, which means they are eternal and universal and everything. That's when you get the ho kaboom. But see, people are not going to know that, and they're going to stay right in that zone of that paradise because they think that's it. They think that's it. And these are the ones, I'm telling you, this is the door into that eternal realm that very few enter, because they don't know the difference. They're not understanding what's going on. They don't know the difference. Although the word is full of it. It says it straight out. Every single thing. It's just all about that. I don't know how anybody can see anything different. But then again, my sight is totally different now. Right? My hearing is different. My sight's different. Completely different. It's just like, remember I said we're going backwards? Okay. When we go up, and then when you become in the Spirit, and you receive the Spirit, okay? you receive the 12 fruits of the tree. It's the 12 fruits of heaven, of the tree of life, okay? 12. All right. So it's after you're baptized up there, right? You receive the 12 fruits. Now, here on earth, just to show you the flip here, okay? Jesus, after he was baptized in the Jordan River, he went out, and what 12 did he go get? The 12 disciples. See, the 12 disciples were the fruit of the earth, right? Okay? They were the gifts here, okay? Let's just say. But that's what that mirrors. That's what that parallels, okay? So when we go up there and baptized, we're getting the heavenly fruit, okay? We're getting the heavenly 12 fruit, okay? Here, Jesus, because he was, he was coming down, he received the 12 earthly fruits. The 12 trees here, the 12 earthly fruits here, okay? Which was the 12 disciples. Now, in those, okay, the guy on the throne, he's working both of them. He's got both sides going. Both of them, okay? One can't work without the other, okay? It can't, because there's one in faith, but it's the knowledge and the wisdom, all right? So they both have to work. I told you it's a kickball, and it's got to keep you on that path. It's all about getting on the path there. Okay, once you're on that path, as you're going, and he sees you that you're diligent, okay, and that you have removed yourself from the world, meaning the teachings of the world, the writings of the world, the voice of the world, okay, the world of what? The world of him, okay, of what the world is telling you and has taught. You have to remove yourself from that. You have to remove yourself from your church, your pastor, your teacher. You have to remove yourself from the book. Again, this is in Paul. This is why Paul is out there. Paul is showing you he was raised in there. He was a Jew and a Roman. He knew the law. He was a temple guard, but he was a Pharisees. And Paul, when the Lord blinded him for 3 days and knocked him off his horse, he did so because Paul was persecuting what he did not know. Again, this is what all the Christians and believers are doing now, because again, I said this 2 years ago, they are the Pharisees now. And now it's just totally proven, because they are condemning what they don't know. They want to kill what they don't know. They are temple guards, okay? And whatever they don't know, they are going to go after and destroy it. You're Paul, just like Paul did at the beginning, okay? Because that's what Paul did. So what did he do? He knocked him off the horse and blinded him, because he had to. Because Paul, it didn't matter what Paul was taught. It didn't matter what Paul read in books. Paul was not taught by the disciples. It didn't matter what he was taught by the priest, the other Pharisees. Nothing mattered, because he couldn't use it. He could not use it. He had to be open up to it, but he could not use it. So when the Lord, on his way to Damascus, knocked him off the horse, he blinded him for 3 days to blind him from the light of the earth, okay, from earthly sight, because he had to. When you're blinded, you have to go on your hearing, but it's all in here. He was led from his heart, from what he was hearing here. That's, well, you know the story of Paul, how he went on and with Barnabas, but remember, Barnabas is the one that baptized him, so there's a whole other story there on that one. But it's just the whole thing. I could just go on through the whole thing. But Paul, that's what that is about. That's why Paul is there, okay? It's to show you where believers, okay, should be now, okay? And what's going to happen, okay, in order to allow them true sight. He has to scale your eyes in order to make you be able to give you sight, to give you 20/20 sight, to make you be able to see. Okay? He's got to take off the rose-colored glasses now. Okay? Take those lenses off. And this is the story of Paul. Okay? Story of Paul. He carried a double-edged sword. Okay? And so Paul is the double-edged sword. But Paul was not taught. Paul was taught by the Spirit of the Lord. He was taught by the Holy of Holy Spirits. Okay, that's exactly who he was taught by. Not any books, not any disciples, not any man. By the Father alone, he was taught by, and that is where you have to be too. Okay, but see, people want to hear this, but they keep run back. You have to know the word, okay? Oh, I totally see. In order to hear what the Spirit is saying, okay? You have to know the scripture here, which is an inspired word, okay? In order to see the truth in them, okay? Because there is patterns, and there is the whole story there. All these little stories make up the big story, okay? But you people can only read one layer of it, that story, and it's so much bigger than that. Okay, it's so much bigger than that. And so this is what you have to be able to see. Okay? Or you just I don't know what to say to you about that one. I don't know what to say about it. But don't be a Paul. Meaning, don't try to destroy what you don't understand. Because in the long run, remember, everything's opposite. Opposite, opposite, opposite. We are a shadow of things. We are a shadow of things. So when Jesus, he had the shadow, he had the opposite, okay, of the heavenly fruits, right? Those are the eternal fruits. These are not, okay? He got the 12 disciples, which when you go through and see what each of them, really pay attention, who they were, what they did, okay? Because as it goes back, okay, John was the revelator, okay? John gave revelation. Revelation is truth, okay? It is truth. They receive the truth. When do you receive truth? When you receive the Holy Spirit. When you receive the truth of everything, when you're in the Spirit with the Lord, okay? It's when you become one, okay? It's that next step up, above us, okay? It's not paradise. It's going up the notch, okay? That is Paul. That is Revelations. And that is Paul the Revelator, okay? That is when you are giving truth. Truth about everything. Paul was given truth about everything. He was in the Spirit because he was being given his gifts. When you are given the gifts, you are given the truth. And he's showing you everything from start to finish. Okay, that's what that is. He's showing you the truth of everything. Okay? What happened, what's now, and what's to come. Okay, so all of that is in there. Okay? So, that's what happens when you go up. And so that's John. Then you have Luke. Luke is a physician. Okay? So what do doctors do? They heal. So after you receive the truth, and when you're changed, and this is very few, okay? This is very few that get changed, because everybody else is in paradise and they are still believing as they believed here, and it's not going to happen like this, okay? Because I'm telling you, the Holy Spirit is a woman, and it's about the female, okay? That's what it's about. The women of the Bible, okay? It's about the women, but they're the Holy Spirits. It's about, one is earthly and one is heavenly, okay? It's your harlot, okay? It's your virgin and it's your harlot. It's your barren womb, and it's your it's Hagar and it's Sarah, right? It's Leah and it's Rachel, okay? So it's Elizabeth and it's Mary. Okay? You can go on through whatever women you want, but that's what it's about. Okay. Luke is, he's a doctor. Okay, so he's the healer. So he's the one. You got John. So then you go. You got to be healed, and so you have the healing. You have. This is when he heals the blind, and here's the deaf. Okay, these are all because they're blind because they can't see the truth. They don't have that heavenly gift. They don't have that heavenly sight. Okay, so they don't have heavenly hearing. Okay. Your body is totally part of the angelic. I mean, it tells his whole. We are made from his angelic structure of how he has the angels. Okay, I'm telling you, that's why we have one head. We have one head. Okay, we have two shoulders. It's that old saying of the devil on one side and the angel on the other, because that's really what it's like. Because it's the good and the bad within us. Okay. Good and bad within us. It's what overcomes what. Now, but the pride, because again, people have believed a certain way for so long, their pride is not going to let them start over from scratch. Say, Lord, I just really need you to come in here and fix me. I need you to help me. I just need to this is what he's talking about when he says don't look left and don't look right. Look straight ahead. Okay, because one side's left and one side's right. Look straight ahead. Okay? That's exactly what he means. But nope, people will not. They are going to perish from lack of knowledge. And their lack of knowledge is coming from their ignorance, but it's really coming from their pride because they will not admit, are you kidding me? Are you just really kidding me? Are you? They want, So this is leaving, not looking left and not looking right. This is looking only to him every day. I'm telling you this every day, okay? And it is putting everything in your life below him, okay? The majority of whatever you do has to be spent on him in order, because it's a lot is expected. Okay, this is, but every day more. I mean, I can go now through the whole Bible, now all of it. It's the most wonderful thing in the world. Most wonderful thing in the world. But and now I look back and I go, oh my gosh, how does anybody ever think? How does anybody think that means that? Because it does. How did I think that for so long? Because I was taught that way. Oh yeah, that makes sense to me. Sure. And the rapture? Rapture's not going to happen here. It's not happening here. Okay? It's up above us. Because a bride is not a bride as we have earthly ears to hear it. Okay? It's not. It's not. It's of him. You do not become part of the body of Christ until you're up there. Because that, you have to go through the waters again. You have to go up. That's where all that happens. It's up a level. And if you go through and you see, the levels of the firmaments. It's the firmaments, okay? You got to get past that. Get the promised land. Got to get past that land of the giants there. You got to get past that part that the spies didn't want to go through. Okay? And that's what kept them out in the desert, for 40 more years? Okay. And so it doesn't matter now if it says years. We're in hours, we're in days, we're in weeks. And this is another thing. This is your layers of your time, of your days, your hours, your minutes. it has to do with the layers going up. Okay, has to do. Here we are, your it's all mm, 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 mm. Okay, from days, years, or no, seconds, minutes, hours, and days. Seconds, minutes, hours, and days. It is your 4 levels. Okay, boom, 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 boom. This is why a thousand years is like a day. 1,000 years, it's because of it's the different firmaments. It's the different realms. Okay, and that's how that goes. What's here? What's there? What's there? What's there? So, but we have to cross through that, and there's your darkness. There's your darkness. And that's why you have to be ready. You have to be ready because you're going to go through that, okay? And you have to listen, okay? You have to listen in that darkness. You have to listen when he tells you to go and to move. This is your waters, okay? Because you're going through the water, okay? So if you're on the wrong boat, what are you going to do if you're on the wrong boat? You get off that boat. Get off that boat, okay? Because you're going through the waters. Now remember Paul's shipwreck. This is all has to do now with Paul's shipwreck, okay? But remember, 276 on board, not one hair was harmed. Which again, these are all angelic, I'm telling you guys. But we're going to go through these waters. And so you just, through everything, you just have to have faith. You have to call out, and you have to have faith, and you have to know that he has you. You have to know it. Okay? These are not things. This is the time that he's talking about, that you need to hear him, to listen to him, to hear his voice. It's not here, guys. It's not down here, okay? The dreams and the visions and everything, it's not here yet. It's up there, okay? See, but we have earthly sight, understanding, so therefore it's what we have it is here on earth, okay? Well, you could have it on earth, but really the one you want is above us, okay? That's the one you want. It's when we get up there, okay? That's when you want that kingdom up there. That's where the dreams and visions, that's where everything takes place. Nothing takes place here. Meaning, if you're reading the Bible and you're seeing everything that's laid out is going to happen, okay, it's not in this valley of, it's not here. It's up there, okay? Because there is your, it's all of your armies. It's your Roman army, it's your Greek army, it's all of it. And remember, it's Babylon, okay? And really, the church is the daughter of Babylon, because they think that's their father, okay? Which he is our creator and he is our father, but he's God on the throne. He is a son, okay? But the father is higher, okay? It's higher. So really, the church is the daughter of Babylon, and they don't even know it, okay? They don't even know it. They don't know it. This has to do with Herod, okay, marrying his brother's wife. And King Herod's son, who took his place, he married his brother's wife. Okay, this all has to do with that. Okay, because she doesn't even know. I'm telling you, church, First of all, it's not a wedding like you think, okay? Because it's not that. This is heavenly. It's a union. It's a union. When you become a bride, you're in Him. You're part of Him. This is His mansions. You can a body, but you're back in your spirit. You're back in your original spirit, but you're with the Father, so you got it all. You got it all, okay? So, I mean, this is your home. That's your mansion, okay? So, what's going to happen if you think you're going to get married there, okay? Paradise. Who you're going to marry? Somebody's marrying somebody's. Again. I go back to Esther and the king of Babylon. Yes, it was one, but they got married. But that's who she married. Okay, that's who she married. So you gotta know what's going on here. You gotta know what's going on. That's what all these stories are about and saying. You got to know what's going on. So when Alexander the Great, okay, when he conquered Babylon, he never wanted to leave. It was just perfect. It was so beautiful. It was gold, city of gold. City of gold. I mean, it was wonderful, beautiful. Why did everybody want Babylon? Why did all these kingdoms want Babylon? Because it was beautiful and had everything. Everything your heart could desire was there, right? Okay, so it was his army saying, come on, Alexander. When are we going home? When are we going home? Now remember, what's home? Home is our final destination. Home. Home is with the body, okay, of Christ. Home. When are we going home, Alexander? He just putting on that lion. Remember that leopard head and lion head, and he's married a. What was she? She was Bastine. Is that right? She was Bastine. Princess, okay? And he even started dressing like the Babylonians, right? I mean, he was still him, but he was in paradise. Okay? He was in paradise. Again, this is what's going to happen, okay? And people say, we got to go home. You got to know what home is. And you got to know, again, anything that is still a fleshly attachment, okay? Because there's a change, but you're still not out of your body. You're still not all in spirit, okay? Because you're still got your body there. And this is why people see two different things. This is why people see the physical body, but then sometimes people just see like floating spirits, because it's two different, one step and then another step, okay? So, but the rewards that we get are all a materialistic, fleshly reward. Well, yeah, but I mean, they were promised to us by our Father. Yes, absolutely. And you get them, yeah. But are they going to make you forget? Because, see, it's a shadow of things here. Because down in the world here, all these, the more you have of the world, the more you forget of your spirit, right? You forget where you came from, the more things you have. And that's why it's better to be poor. It's better to live in the tents in the wilderness than live in the city. When you look at it, those that lived in the city, they conform to the city ways, the city rituals, the city rules, the city things, the city lifestyle. When they lived on the tents, no, they had to still depend on the Lord. They had to depend on God for everything. When they lived in the tents, right? Yes. So you want to be a tent dweller, okay? You want to be a tent dweller, because when you're in that tent, you're not in your permanent home, okay? But if you're in the city and you're in a home, well, you may not want to leave there. But as long as you're in a tent, you're still traveling, you're still going. You are in a temporary dwelling, okay? And this is why the wilderness, the desert, has so much importance, because that is where he finds us. That's where we find him. It's not where he finds us, it's where he hears us, okay? This is where he comes to us, and this is why he puts us through all of our stuff, and we feel like we're being spanked and we're alone because we're in the desert, we're in the wilderness, so we got all this stuff happening to us, because we have to get on our knees, and we have to depend on him, and we have to call out to him for help, and that's what he wants. He wants our hand up so he can pull us up, okay? And so this is why the wilderness and the desert are so important. And then he wants us out of the cities. Get out of the cities. Cities make you, they blind you and they deaf you. There's so much noise, there's so much everything, you're deaf and you're blind, okay? So again, if you get your rewards, remember this. Offer them back to the Lord. Because it's your heart. This is Garden of God. This is where he dwells. This is, you dwell in him, and this is where he dwells in you. So, those gifts, remember this. Offer your heart to him. Offer your heart. Okay, because it's those are pure of heart. When you're pure of heart, you have no earthly wants. You don't, well, what an honor to be given those wonderful gifts. But what's most important to you is him, right? Is it all the rewards he can give you, or is it him? Okay, because once you are with him, then you got it all. Okay, you got it all. I mean, because you're part of him, and that is the difference. That's the difference. And this is why in the Bible, the different kingdoms, okay, it's to show the difference. Okay, there's always two leaders. There's always a good and a bad, okay, or a misunderstood. There's always a one that's forgiven, or one that's even killed, but it's there's always two armies, or two whatever on each side that are against each other. You have the kingdom and you have the priesthood, right? But there's always two sides on each, okay? It's your four angels. So, but they're all from him. You just, a likeness is a likeness, okay? And then the more likenesses that are made, they're not so much like the original likeness, okay? Big difference. This is why it was important in the beginning that they stay within their certain tribes, okay, their certain groups, because they were the same, okay? And if you married outside, who was that other outside group? They were different. It was a different tribe. It was a different, it's all about the light within, okay? Who has more darkness and who has more light, and so it's how that light's dispersed, or the darkness is grown. Because if you have offspring with if you marry somebody who is from another, okay, land, let's call it that way, then you don't know where their light, how much of the kingdom of heaven they have in them, or how much of earth they have in them. You know what I'm saying? And so when you continue to, if darkness is a majority, and one continues to, generations continue to marry within that darkness, well, eventually you're gonna have all darkness. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So it's about the armies. Again, oh my gosh, it's, who knew, like the equator, the line, and the poles, and the up in Europe, Scandinavia, the Vikings, okay, from north. Remember, I'm telling you, every single thing, every historical thing, the Vikings, they were one set of something, okay? They were an army, they were a offspring, they were a armies of the north, okay, that came down. And so, but they didn't, they had different gods. This all goes back to that beginning time. Okay? It all goes back to the beginning time. Then what did they do, though? They conquered, okay? I mean, they conquered, okay? I mean, all of Europe, except, I mean, after they'd taken all the kingdoms of England, I mean, all the kingdoms except Wessex. Wessex. So it would end up being England, right? So there was only one. I mean, they went up through France, all of them, okay? And Russia, and just they totally conquered. Then they went on down and down. This is, and this is all your armies, okay? This is all your armies, your angelic armies. That's what it is. You know, some are land, some are sea. I mean, some are air, some are heavenly. Some are heavenly. Some are the firmament. Okay. Some are, and then some are earthly, right? I can't even get into that one, but that's what all this is about. It's all what all is about. So when the world's going haywire and talking about that, okay, you can listen, but don't listen, because if you do, it's going to bring fear to you. Okay, but trust me, you cannot fear that, because that is here. Let it go. 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 The enemy's doing his job if you are listening to everybody doing that, and it's coming from pulpits, it's coming from everything. Stop. This is withdrawing yourself from the world. Stop listening to all that earthly stuff. You have to set your sights to heaven now. And so that's not of heaven. That's not going to happen up there. Okay, so don't listen to it. Any of it. Any of it. You have to block yourself from it. Block it all. Don't look left and don't look right and don't listen to it. It's all trickling down from a manifestation of just the rulers. You know what I'm saying? It's such a big difference from earthly from heavenly, from the realms. Okay, it's opposite. It's opposite. So if we have this all going down on the earth now, I mean, as far as what people are seeing and saying, and if it's opposite of what we need to be, it's all opposite. So what does that tell you? Let it go. Leave it alone. And he's following this pattern like you can't believe, okay? Can I tell you the truth? I'm so tickled that he didn't come before now for all this to come out, because this is what everybody's going to have to see. Everybody's going to have to see this. I'm telling you. Why do you think so many people, we've not lost our minds. We've not gone, And I hope you believe me. If you don't, I don't even know what to say. It's okay, because you can't unless he allows it. Okay? But don't say anything. People leave comments. I don't read any of them. I will tell you that. I don't. That's why I don't hardly answer anything anymore, because it's just taking my time away from him. Because I know who I totally 1,000,000 gazillion %. No, I could not know this on my own. There's no possible way. And it's so much. I could be here for 10 hours going through all of it with you. But I know. But even if you don't agree, it's okay if you don't understand. It's okay. But trust me on this. Don't judge anything. Do not judge it. And do not leave nasty comments. First of all, when you do, you have to know where that's coming from. Okay? And you're definitely Paul. You're definitely a Pharisee. But I mean, you have to understand the patterns of that, of what makes people say that and do that, because they don't understand. You have to go through history, because everything is historical. Every single pattern, everything, it's all replaying itself over and 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 over. All of it. Just replaying itself, okay? So, pray about it, but do not let it come out. Once you get into that action, you start festering, and we're going to go out, because he'll make you see it, but it won't be in the way that you think then. Okay? just watch whatever comes out of your mouth. You know, don't go to that. Don't go to that. Don't go to it. Truly, don't go to it. It's not good. It's not good. I mean, it's just so much. It's just so much going on. These patterns, you guys, the United States, we're that last leg in time. In these last, 400 years, these last, 200 years, the United States, if you studied, see, the Christians, first of all, you have to know the Old Testament, okay? Because it's so good and it brings alive, truly, the New Testament. But they don't study, and they don't know any of the Jewish, the rabbis, okay? The rabbis, through the last 1,500 years, 1,000 years, 500 years, 200 years. Okay, let's say 200 years even. This, they don't understand it, and they are so divinely, from their birthdays to what they did, it all matches. It's his patterns, what they did, and when how they came here, and what they did. Really, one of the very first ones to start this country. But it was a place. It was a melting pot. Okay. It was a place for everybody to come. Everybody, didn't matter who it was, everybody could come here. Okay, this is it's a story, okay, and it's a pattern, but it's a story, and we were a place for the Jewish people. We were a place for God's people, really God's people. Okay, and God, this is God's land too. So, but they have no clue of the importance. And again, there's always the two sides, and there's the two sides in Judaism too. Okay, you always have. Actually, you have two sides, and then you always have two rabbis on each side. On each side. It's just the exact pattern. But to read the patterns of their life and connect it on down with the other ones, it's crazy. It's so good, though. It's so crazy, but it's so good. All the years match, the days match from what they do. It all goes. Now remember, I remember me saying this last year that I was talking about, and it was this time because I was talking about July. We're right in the middle of two Jewish first months, two Jewish New Years. Okay, every God's clock, okay, is 12 hours. You have 12 hours of day and you have 12 hours of night. 12 hours of light, 12 hours of darkness. Okay, it's your 24-hour period, but they're cut into 12s. 12 days, 12 months, 12 whatever. You have one light and one dark. Okay. So within that time thing are seasons. Okay, they're time seasons. So every 3 months is a season, right? Every 3 years is a season. It could be every 3 days. This is why there's always that 3. You never know within 3 days. Okay, but it also goes 3 weeks. It also goes 3 months and 3 years. Okay, so every 3 months is a season, and we know that from the equinox and the solstices. But that's how they go. So it's always within that season. You never know within that 3 month. So, but July. Oh my gosh. The United States and the Declaration of Independence, first of all, and just the whole thing of it. It's the very tail end of it, of the story. We started east from very beginning, and we went west. The west is the end. That's why California, everybody sees California, the west coast, falling off and starting first, because it's the very tail end of the west. Now and what was the, after they passed the Mississippi in St. Louis, going through, they went through the wilderness. To finally get to their promised land, though, the West, they had to go through the wilderness. Same thing. But now they got to go back. To go back east, they have to cross back over that Great Divide. Okay? It's the same thing. Okay? It's the same thing. So we're going to cross back over that Great Divide. Okay? So, but the United States, oh my gosh, it's so good to read. Again, I wish you guys would have done that last year and read that, but if you remember me talking about the 144,000, and I was saying, I know that there's 200 that fell, there's 200 fallen angels. I mean, there was just a number of 200. And the 144,000, and I knew, again, that was angelic. So, of the 144,000, and it would be 72 and 72, okay? But they're angels, okay? It's angelic. But it's from each one from the left and one from the right. But I was like, but where's the other 56? Because I know there's 200 here. So where's the other 56? I'm saying, Lord, where's the other 56? I know there's got to be 56 because all your numbers always match. So these are 144 of those 200 angels, okay? So where's the 56? And what, within a couple hours, I get on a page somehow and I'm reading the Declaration of Independence, right? And so, okay, I'll go with it because wherever he sends me, I'm going to read it, right? I'm about blind now because I've read so much stuff that my eyes, but I still keep going in and read. There is right in front of me. How many people, because remember we're going west, right? How many people signed the Declaration of Independence? 56. 56. Okay, I gotcha. There's where the 56. There's where the other ones are. So, 144,000 are those that did not defile themselves with women. Okay, that's what they are. Not defile themselves. So the other 56, they just didn't go by the rules. Okay, so what I'm saying is, that's what that 56 represents. Okay, they were. It's really your priesthood in your kingdom, in your throne, in your kingly rule, and your priesthood is really what all that is. But so I mean, within like 2 hours, right after me saying, Lord, where's the 56 at? Where's the 56? Okay, then I just randomly are led to that and read it. Okay, I got you now. Well, and I remember a couple years ago we were talking about the number of the angels, and they had 13 offspring. Remember I said that the Lord said we showed they had 13 offspring. There was 200, but then they had 13 offspring. Okay, so I find the other 56, obviously, because that's what signed the Declaration. Well, how many original colonies did the United States have? Oh, I know, 13. I was like, oh, hello. What does this prove? Everything is divine. I'm telling you. He's got it all set. All of it. All of it, all of it, all of it, all of it, all of it. Whatever we may think we know, trust me, we do not know. Whatever is made to look good, is bad. Whatever is made to look bad is good. Okay, so when I say this, do not judge anything, please. Do not judge anything. Oh, we don't have a clue. So, you don't look left, don't look right, look straight ahead. You just got to go to him. He'll show him. It takes a lot of time, though. You have to give up everything. You have to give up your Facebook, and you have to give up going to lunch. You really do. Either all these earthly activities, and you squeeze him in somewhere in the middle of them, or you are all him and you squeeze them in somehow. Yes, I have to babysit every day my grandkids, and I'm telling you, they're so beautiful. And my Trey, she's 2. She's so smart. She's so smart. She, you know, she can count to 25. She can, oh, what is that? That's a stop sign. What does that say? S-T-O-P. Stop. You know, I work with her. But when they're playing, I'm in my chair reading, you know. But I've spent so much time teaching her. But every spare minute, even with him, I'm reading, okay? And I'm talking and I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, here we go, Bella. My mind's always going. He's never off my mind, ever. And so then when they leave, here we go again. So, it's so good. From Jonah. I'm going to end this video really quick. I got to tell you about Jonah. I was thinking about Jonah. Because this is like the belly of the whale. Okay? This whole thing is like the whale. Okay? The whole thing's like the belly of the whale. First we can wait to be shot off the sprout. You know, kind of, sort of. In the water when the whoosh goes up. So, why did Jonah get put in that belly? Well, because God told him to go preach to Nineveh. Okay? And Nineveh needed some repenting, right? And they needed some witnessing, right? So he told, first of all, you gotta, who is Jonah? Because they're either one brother or the other. Okay? Everybody is. Either from the left or the right. And there's one on the left and one on the right. So they all have the same, you know, are filled with the same spirit. But I mean, it's always one brother or the other. Okay? John the Baptist or Jesus. Or, you know, it's just the way it is. So, Jonah was told, well, he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to go there and he didn't want to do it. So he was going as far away from the Lord as he could. So where did he go? West. He got on that boat and he was going west. Is where he was going. West. He was going far, far away. And so that's when that ship started going through all that, you know, storms and everything. And they started throwing the grain over. See that grain? When you throw the grain into the sea, that's so much bigger than you guys know. That's just huge. It's all these little things, what they throw over, and they throw them into the waters, and what all that is. It's a whole nother 5 hours, but it's fabulous. Okay, it's fabulous. So he's sitting in there, right, for 3 days and 3 nights, again, because now he's going to be shown. He's going to be blinded, and he's going to be given sight. Paul thing, the whole, you know, the truth. So when he went to Nineveh, what did he do? He preached. He told them, if you did not change, if you did not repent, if you did not, in 40 days, God's going to destroy Nineveh. Okay, he's going to destroy you. He's going to flatten you, right? Judgment's going to come upon you in 40 days if you do not change. What did they do? They all changed. As soon as they said that, they were like, okay, gotcha. We're good. You know, the whole town. Thumbs up. Again, got to go 40 days. 40 days going out witnessing. Okay? So Nineveh, none of them was destroyed. There's your story. Nineveh all repented. So the Lord had no destruction, no judgment that went on the city. Okay? On the land of Nineveh, right? Because they listened to Jonah. And they listened to Jonah, but Jonah wasn't going to do it at first, right? He had to go through his own thing to do it, right? But they were saved. He saved them. No big dramatic anything. It was done. Because they took to heart. So, but Jonah got mad. He got mad. he stood on the outskirts of the city and he watched because he was waiting for the judgment to come. And so he stood out there just to watch. He was waiting for the fire and everything to come down on it. And nothing happened. He was like, Lord, where's that judgment at? You're going to get them. I'm waiting out here waiting for all the fireworks. But you're not doing nothing to them. Why aren't you getting them? They're bad. Well, they repented. So read that whole story. And he was mad. You know, who's Jonah? Jonah's Lucifer. It's the story of Lucifer. Okay, you know what I'm saying? He did. It's the whole thing. And when you know who man is and who the angels were at first and the whole story, then you'll understand why he was mad and didn't want to do and what was the whole thing and what had to do. It's the same stories. Okay, it's the same stories. Who he did not want to watch over. I mean, to be under. It's not how we see it. Okay, it's like, again, it's all these stories. So you have to find who they are, because they're in every story. But that's who Jonah is. It's Job. Job is. That's who Job represents. Hello. You know, and Job was a ruler, but that's who Job represents. And it shows everything the Lord put him through and what he had to lose, and he had to live in this, you know, his skin was crusty and he had worms coming in and out of it. It's the same story. It's the one, but see, Job, nobody really knew why. Okay. And same as Lucifer. I'm telling you, that's the other brother, the other son, the other brother. That's what happened to him. That's his story. Okay, that's his story. And then the Lord gave him back everything. Okay, Lord gave him back everything. Did you know that Job's wife was Jacob's daughter, Dinah, his only daughter? That was his first wife. Okay, and so his first set of 7 sons and 3 daughters were by her. Did you know that? But see, after all said and done, because of his faith, and he knew he didn't do it, he stayed true. And then he just, you know, gave him everything new. It's our story of what's going to happen. It's really a story of man, but it's a story of what's going to happen is Job, how he got everything, you know. So, but that's the story. That's Lucifer. Okay, that's the other brother. Okay, the one that everybody's misjudging and the whole thing. Nobody even gets it and understands it, but it's not as we think. Satan is a spirit. Okay, now there are devils, and that's a whole nother darkness thing. Okay, but I'm saying Satan is a spirit. Is a spirit. When Adam and Eve, okay, that tree. First of all, that tree. It's your road. Okay. That spirit of Satan is what's going to be pulled out and thrown into the abyss and gone. Okay, that spirit will be killed. Okay, that spirit will be thrown out and killed. Okay, gone. So but God made it because Adam and Eve. There was two fruits on that tree. It was the knowledge of good and evil. So to know good, I mean, there was evil there too. So evil and good there had to be both, right? Right. So, that Satan is the evil, okay? But it was all made by God, okay? Because it's got to do its job to get us home. It's got to get us home. And so and remember, the fire is cleansing. Fire is cleansing. It burns. So, it burns the dross. It burns the disease of the skin. And so it burns the leprosy and all that. It's just it's cleansing. Okay. So, but all of that Satan, that's a spirit that's thrown out to the abyss. But this is just so good. I'm telling you, go to Jonah. Go to Jonah. And Nineveh was saved. But he was mad. Let him destroy it. But he didn't. He didn't. So, and there's your story. There's your story. But you can, everybody's, see, but down here, everybody is, right now, is Jonah, too. Everybody here, the Christians, and the believers, and the pastors, and everybody, they're all Jonah right now. Because they are they are preaching, do this, do that, you better repent, or the Lord's going to destroy all of this right here, blah, blah, blah. Okay, because that's what they're doing. You better do it. He's going to destroy this. He's going to get you. He's going to get. And people are, but, and they're, all the believers are waiting at the gates. They're waiting to see him destroy it. Nineveh didn't get destroyed. It follows patterns. So anyway, 3 days also is 3,000 years. Okay, 3 days is 300 years. Okay, same thing. 40 days, 40 months, 40 years. It also represents Moses' 3 times up the mountain, his 40 days on each mountain. 3 days is not 3 days. I mean, it can be 3 days, but like a 3-day warning is a 21-day warning. Okay, you have to, it's 7 times 3. Okay, it's the same. Just like 7 weeks is 49 days. It's really not. It's 49 weeks. Okay, so 7 days. Okay, if you have a 7-day warning, that means it's 49 days. Okay, it's a Pentecost thing, right? But it's 49 days. So 3-day warning is 21 days. Again, it could be 21 days, it could be 21 weeks, it could be 21 months, or 21 years. Okay, same with the 49. Goes on. You don't know if you're dealing in minutes, in hours, in days, in weeks, because they're all the same. Depends on which calendar has to do with which realm. Okay, your timelines have to do with what realm you're dealing with. Remember we talked about that, and that's how that goes. So so yeah, 3-day warning, it's really 21. It's 21. So I have to do another video. This one's too long. Okay, you guys, just stay ready. I'm telling you, we are at the height of good stuff. Good stuff, and good time. I mean, we're at the height of it all. I did not know. 2015 really is it, okay? We are in a prophetic year now, okay? We are in a total prophetic year. 2012 was really the time, okay? But again, it has to do with his time in the tomb was 3 days, which is, okay, 3 years. But it also has to do with the time that Lazarus was in the tomb, which was 4 days. Okay, so it's our 2015, 2016. Now, I think it's 2012, 2018, right? But it's going to go back. Okay, as we go forward, we're going back too, because at the time when Jesus died, death started, so it started reversing the clock. Okay, we had a clock going this way, but we get a clock going this way. Okay, so it's going to meet in the middle. But I think that 2016 is that prophetic year. Okay, it is. I'll talk about it in the next video. Okay, I love you. I'll see you soon. I'll do another video.